Here we go. Okay, so it says, do you guys see it? It's recording, right? Okay, yeah, it's in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay. Want to make sure.
Yeah.
It's not a good meeting to
Okay,
miss
so
that.
who wants to go first?
Should we just go through each question and then everybody can give their answer?
Yeah, let's do that.
We can.
Sure.
But the first one, present your goals.
So we could each take turns presenting what our goals were.
Because some of us might have a lot. Do we want to just like maybe
you want to talk about? I don't know.
I just had like 3 or 4 goals, so I'm good.
Well, okay. Do you want me to go first? I'll go first.
Okay.
So I'll just list some of the main ones that I had. That
Okay.
were, because like some of them I did like make sure I'm praying every morning and night, which is hard sometimes. Doing an act of service for someone. I did that as a daily, and then I also did it as a weekly one as well, and a monthly one to serve outside of my home a couple times a month, and then serve in my home. I did.
So for your, sorry, I have a question. So for your active service, what did you do every day? It's not like they may be the major things that you do every day for that.
Some of it was small stuff, like my daily stuff. Like I would fill my daughter's water bottle up in the morning so she didn't have to do it, or I would take someone a treat, or just
small things,
stuff that just kind of pops into your head, like it's nothing. It was never anything huge. But like my mom wanted me to do something with her, so I went with her to this place, to somewhere, and just random stuff, small things for me.
Yeah,
I like that.
One of my other daily ones was to spend at least 30 minutes just me and my daughter, so she could tell me about how her day was without any distractions, which was hard because sometimes she's not home when I get home, or I don't come home right after work or something. But we kind of got into it where I would come home and we'd sit down and we would talk for a little while. She'd tell me about her day, I'd tell her about mine. It was good to have that. I'd made her put her phone away and I would put my phone away. So that was nice.
Yeah.
I did another one where I tried to limit my social media use.
Just out of curiosity, how do you track the limiting of it?
So you can put, at least on an iPhone, you can set a limit for certain apps is that what you mean? Like, how do I know how much time?
Well, yeah, just kind of like the idea of like, I want to use less social media, and, how would you follow through on a goal like that? Or how would you measure a success on that?
So what I had to do was there's a section called screen time on an Apple phone.
Okay.
And in it has where you can limit certain apps and you can put a time restraint on it.
Yeah.
So it was hard, and I would still get on social media. It was mainly at when I get home for work for a little while, but it shuts off so you can't open the app after you hit your limit.
Mm.
I like that.
I've been so tempted to do it to my daughter
She'll get mad.
Go for it.
because she's on her phone so much. I'm like, get off your phone right now.
Teenagers.
Yeah, so that was a tricky one.
That's a good one though.
Let's see. Some of my weekly ones, I put, one of my goals was, did I talk to my parents at least once a week? I talk to my mom every day, so that one wasn't hard, but I don't talk to my dad very often, and so I made it an effort to talk to him at least once a week. So I've been calling him once a week on my way home from work or something and talking to him, which seems silly, but for us it's not, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of my monthly goals, sorry, my daughter is texting me.
You're fine.
She had a lot of goals. I had like 4
I
goals.
did have a lot of goals. But one of my monthly ones was to have at least one girls' night a month. I'm not one for wanting to go out and get together with friends. So a friend invited me to a girls' night a few months ago and a game night, and it was really fun. So I made it a goal to make sure I go to at least one of the things they invite me to a month.
That was nice.
That was just some of mine. I have a bunch of other ones, but
Yeah. I like yours. I might want to do. I also wanted to do the service. Maybe next time I'll do the service because I saw this lady on, I think, on Facebook or YouTube. I can't remember, but what she did for her 40th birthday, can't remember. So for the whole month before her birthday, she would do one service a day. And then she would record it up to her birthday. So that's like her birthday gift to herself, just doing service for other people.
Well, that's cool.
But I've been thinking about like what kind of service I could do for like my neighbors. But that's why I asked you like what kind of service do you do? Because sometimes I don't really know what to do.
Like what you could do, like if you're making something at your house, maybe make a little extra and take it over to them. Or if you're at the grocery store and you see a little plant or something, maybe take them a plant or some flowers, or I don't know.
Yeah, good idea.
I'm good with like the baking treats and taking those to people, or stopping and getting a nothing but cake and taking it to someone, or I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. I'll do that next time. So I can go next. Mine is exercising every day for like 25 minutes. Refraining from using social media when I'm watching my daughter. That's really hard. Sometimes it gets boring. But then, when they're babies, they see what you do. And so I just don't want her to see me on the phone all the time. But sometimes she'll see me because I always take pictures and videos. It's like the same. I always take pictures of her. So, but I try not to use the social media. Telling my husband that I appreciate him every day. Studying Come Follow Me manual 10 minutes every day, and updating my track, this one, the Excel file, every day. And yeah, that's what I did daily. I didn't really do a lot of goals because I know that it's hard for me to do them if it gets really overwhelming.
Yeah.
If I see a lot of inviting my family to follow me, because we didn't really do good on that the past few months. Yeah, so that's what I did.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We struggled with that too.
So out of your daily exercises, what was your favorite and least favorite
For my
exercise you would
exercise.
do?
So I've been following. Have you heard of T25?
I have not.
So it's a workout video. That, all of them are 25 minutes.
Mhm.
So it starts with it's just a program you follow. You can watch it on the TV and you can just do it with them.
Mhm.
So you don't have to really think of what to do.
That's good.
Basically tell you what to do. Yeah.
So does it have to be every day, or you could do it like maybe 3 days a week, or?
So I did that every day except for weekends and except when I was sick and we were on vacation. I forgot to put in my accountability that I forgot to put my to think of my daughter maybe like when she was sick. I forgot to say that I don't have to do it when she was sick. That's why I have some nose in my
Mhm.
in my tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's hard.
Yeah, I had a few no's too as well. That was the week I got in an accident.
Mm,
I didn't do
Oh,
stuff for
yeah.
like 4 days, so I didn't follow my thing. I think
Yeah.
that was the only one. I think I only had like 4 goals. Let me look back at it. Because I wanted to make it short.
Mhm.
Was watch my daily calorie intake. I wanted it to be around 1,500 calories. Exercise 3 times a week. Pray for the strength and courage to attain my goals, and watch my carbohydrate and sugar intake. But the purpose of my goals, the main purpose of the calorie intake and the carbohydrates and the exercise is because I'm diabetic, and supposedly I'm supposed to lose, she said, what, 20 pounds. So I'm 132, and I'm supposed to be, she's like, 20 pounds you're supposed to lose. So I'm supposed to be the size like when I was maybe at when I didn't have my
You're,
kids. It's like
did you say you're 132 and she wants you to lose 20 pounds?
Yeah.
So she wants you to weigh 112?
Yeah. To me, I'm not overweight.
My teenager doesn't even weigh 112 pounds.
So the nutritionist, I'm like, okay, when you're 50, you don't lose weight.
Wow. That is
Your
not
hormones
overweight
are
at
all
all.
So anyways, but the sugar intake, I do have to look at that, and my carbohydrates, because once I eat like rice or bread or whatever has the carbohydrates, it turns into sugar. And I'm
Is this
diabetic.
new?
Oh no, I've been diabetic for the past 3 years? Well, I found out 3 years ago.
Are you type 1 or type 2?
Type 2, and it runs in the family, so everybody has it.
Yeah.
On my son, my mom's side. So that was my main goal, because my A1C was, and when I found out it was 7 point something, it's supposed to be under 7, your A1C. My last blood work, it was 6 point something, which is like borderline. So I'm still supposed to work on my carbohydrates and all the stuff that we don't usually do. It's difficult to stay away from the cookies.
Oh, I know, right?
Especially this time of year.
Yeah. And the ice cream. Well, I'm not a fan of ice cream.
How about Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I didn't follow any of my diet at Thanksgiving.
It's hard. It's hard when there's.
So what I try to do is I eat smaller portions.
That's good.
You can't really stop eating the stuff you like or you're accustomed to. So I take smaller portions. So instead of eating like in a bigger plate, I have like a smaller, a little bit bigger than your dessert plate. And that's what I serve my food, in little portions of everything.
That's
So
a good
I eat
idea.
everything, but they're smaller portions.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Portion
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
it's difficult. So those were my main goals, was for the healthy part of it, and the praying for the strength and the courage to stick to those goals.
Mhm.
Good job.
Yeah. So Stephen, what was your goals?
Yeah, so I tried to have a few daily, weekly, and monthly goals. So some of my daily goals were to like read the scriptures for 15 minutes a day. If it was a day where I was closing at work or off of work, basically if it was a day where I was available in the morning, I wanted to exercise for 30 minutes, which usually just translated to going on the treadmill for a half hour. And then kind of the more abstract daily goals, I had I wanted to take an opportunity every workday to step out of my comfort zone and resolve a difficult customer complaint, or resolve problems that are a little more that you don't want to have to deal with. And then another one was to whether it was at work or just while I was out and about, to take time to genuinely improve someone's day, whether it be a customer, a coworker, my wife, someone at church, someone at the store, whatever that would be. And then to read Come Follow Me every night with my wife, that when I wasn't closing. And so those were my daily goals. And then my weekly stuff was to go on one date with my wife each week, complete all of my assignments and all of my classes, not skipping any assignments, and to mow the lawn every week. And then as it got more into winter, that turned into, because I didn't have to mow the lawn anymore.
Yeah.
So then I changed it from that to just doing something in the yard, so like pulling out a tree we didn't like, or trimming the bushes, weeding the garden, things like that. And then my only monthly goal was to attend the temple once a month.
Oh, nice.
I liked your goal
Nice.
about, what was it? It was the doing something for
Making other
improving someone's day.
people's day.
yes, improving someone's
Yeah.
day. Thank you. I liked that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was it hard?
Sometimes, I mean, there's some days where like it was very easy to say, oh yeah, like I helped so and so. And other days you kind of have to really think about it. Like, well, I mean, I guess I cracked a joke that made
Somebody
that
laugh.
one person laugh, so that counts, right?
Yeah. Well, you didn't know if they were having a bad day, and you made
Right,
them laugh.
right.
So
Yeah. So, but I mean that's something that I've always tried to do, as far as like with my employees go, that whether it's my customers, my employees, I want them to leave my store better off than when they came to it. To try and do little things to improve people's days.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chick-fil-A on the whole, it's Chick-fil-A you work at, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They on the whole have good customer service.
Yeah, they
I've
do.
never been to
Try
one
to.
here in Florida and not get good service.
Yeah.
So just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try to, but when you're on my side of it, you're able to see, like, so say, Yasmin, for you go into Chick-fil-A, they mess up, they make it right. Oh, that was great customer service. Like for you, that was the one experience and it was a good one. But on my side of it, I see 100 complaints a day,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
we try and make a lot of them positive, but not all of them are.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah.
We can't fix all of them, unfortunately, but
Right.
we try. And so then that's why I had the other goal of, rather than pawning it off, hey, coworker, take this phone call, or hey, the guest wants to talk to you about something,
Right.
like having me be the one to step up and deal with the more difficult situations.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Some
easy.
people can be difficult too.
Yeah, there's enough managers at my store. It's easy just like, hey, you get this one, but I wanted to make the effort to to actively take part in those.
That's a good goal, though. That'll help you personally with your career,
Sure.
with your
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good one. So I think we all shared. What are we supposed to do now?
Did anyone have a goal that turned out differently than they thought it would?
Nope. I mean, I'm still working on mine. So it's
Yeah.
something I have to continue
Yeah.
to work on.
Yours are ones that'll go. I mean, I think a lot of these goals are admirable that we should all try and keep them going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to.
Yeah, that's the negative. Well, not negative, but that's the bummer that goes with, doing uplifting goals like these. That there's not really an end day. You're like, okay, and I'm done helping people.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm planning to do like maybe one goal every 2 weeks. So I can
Okay,
just focus
that's
on
good.
one thing.
Like a
and-
new one every 2 weeks.
Yeah, a new one
That's
every
good.
2 weeks.
Working towards things. That's good.
Yeah. So I can really see the difference.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So did anybody have to do a consequence, and did you follow through with your consequence?
I did. Yeah, I did. My consequence was giving my husband a video game, buying a video game for him, and giving him a me time. And I did that because my daughter was sick.
So given that, was he actively trying to sabotage your goals?
No, actually, no. He actually didn't want to. He didn't want to take the me time because it's like, well, he didn't really want to not do it. It just happened because our daughter was sick, and for some reason she got sick at the end of the semester. So I didn't think that modifying my goal would,
Right.
make any difference. So I'm like, sure, I'll just give him a video game. It's Christmas.
Christmas
Here
anyway.
you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I don't think I had any my
didn't have to do
consequences was for my partner to like call my attention that I was failing, but she never said anything. So yeah, I didn't have like a something I needed to do consequence. Yeah.
So I didn't have to do it, but had I missed, my consequence was to surrender my headphones to my wife for 48 hours. And I know it sounds kind of, not that big, but I listen to podcasts constantly, whether it's at work or doing homework. I'm always just listening to stuff. And so, for me, that would have been a big deal to have to lose out on that.
Mm-hmm.
So you said even at home you're doing it.
Like not when I'm with my wife, but like if it's just me, yeah, absolutely.
I love
So instead
podcasts.
of watching, you just like listening to podcasts and
Just because it's something that I can have, like I can do the dishes, do homework, I can be busy while listening to it.
Oh wow.
I like that.
I did not have to do one either. My daughter would have liked it, but I had a couple different ones to stay off social media for 2 days,
Wow.
to put $20 into my daughter's bank account. But all my no's were excused for when we were traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Was there any other questions we missed? I didn't open my agenda thing.
Let me see.
What will you do differently in the future?
Oh, yeah.
I like
Well,
that.
we kind of just went over that. What Stephen was saying, it's kind of, we're going to
Just continue it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I put. That I would continue what I was doing.
That's what I put.
Maybe make new ones, new goals along the way. I think the last one is, what did you learn about accountability?
Accountability gets easier the more people you bring into your circle.
Yeah, it's true. As long as you have people that are actually going to be accountable for you, right?
Yeah.
But the more people you
Mhm.
involve, then
That's true.
the more likely they are to help you.
That's true.
Like one of the podcasts I listen to is an intervention podcast where it's these two, writer director type guys that I enjoy their work, and one of them used to be a drug addict, and so in the podcast, they tell funny stories and do stuff, but also they check in, hey, how many days do you have? Like, oh, this week I have 7 years, 3 months, whatever. And so it started off just his wife and his friends helping him get clean, but now there's thousands and thousands of people that when they see him on the streets, like, hey, how many days you got? Like, he's being held accountable
Oh, yeah.
by
Well, that's
everyone.
awesome.
And so I've just listening to that, I've been aware of the fact that, like, hey, yeah, get people involved and it makes it a lot easier on you.
It's like an encouragement.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I read this quote and it said, when people don't take accountability and things start to go awry as they don't feel ownership, they go into spectator mode and watch as things fail. I should have done spell check. If we thought forget it. I totally botched it, I think. If we thought it would have faith or from the out, forget it. I messed it up, I think. My copy and paste did not go well. It was really good too, but I totally messed it up. Basically, that if we don't take accountability and if things start falling apart, are we just gonna just stand by and watch it fail and not do anything, when we're not taking accountability to do anything about it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's definitely something you have to work on. It has to be clear and consistent, and it's not something that's easy.
Oh, and I think too, I wrote in the very last page, the goals we set need to be, like they always say, those SMART goals, that it's something measurable, something you can do. Like Eve was saying, little things, maybe every 2 weeks you come up with a goal that you can really accomplish.
Mhm.
I think that helps
Yeah.
when it's easy goals.
Yeah,
Short-term
something
goals,
obtainable.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so it won't discourage you.
exactly.
What I wrote on mine was what I remember from my mission about President Munson's quote about accountability, that it will boost your performance if you measure it and you're accountable,
I
like,
remember that.
to God. If you report it and someone's helping you with it as well. And I also want to talk about, like, celebrating when you're actually doing what you're supposed to do, instead of thinking, well, there's tomorrow, I need to do it again. It's kind of hard to do that, but if you celebrate every day, then you look forward to accomplishing it the next day, so you get to celebrate again. Not being too hard on yourself.
Yeah, I like that. I think that was our last question, folks.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, it's been
We're
nice.
gonna miss our little group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
wrote
gonna
in
lie.
there.
I've done several group things like this in many different classes, and sometimes they're a real struggle. But I don't feel like our group was a struggle at all.
I wrote that in the 360
I
quiz
did too.
thing. Yeah. It was like, I've had so many classes and so many groups that it was like, oh.
Yeah.
But our little group, no.
Yeah,
No, I
in
don't
your
feel
mind
like-
when it's just like, what can each member do to improve? I'm like,
Yeah,
they're
it's
good.
like,
They're
I can
good.
write right
Nothing.
here.
I know I did that in my nothing to improve. Nothing
need
to
to
improve.
improve.
Nothing to improve.
Same.
I think I repeated the same thing over and over again.
And there was
In
like
that
4
brief.
slots, extra slots for, I think it was because one was supposed to be
'Cause of
Dario's
Dario,
name
yeah.
there.
It's just,
I
Yeah.
kind of put his name and then in the other one, I think he dropped out of the course because
Yeah.
I didn't know what to write. I didn't want to leave it empty.
Oh, I just put
Yeah.
NA or something like
Yeah.
that.
that's
I
what
think we
did.
have the smallest group too. Because I see
Yeah.
other groups, they have like 7, 6
Oh, wow.
members.
Yeah. So,
Well, it definitely makes it easier when you have a small group.
Mhm,
Yeah.
definitely.
yeah,
There's good discussions that come from it.
Yeah.
that's true.
I feel like we got to know each other on a more personal level
Mhm.
Yeah.
than you normally do in these kind of
A
group
bigger
settings and stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true
So
too. Yeah.
it makes it easier when you know the person a little bit, to
Yeah.
work with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is counting down. It says I have 1 minute, and because it only gave me 40.
Oh, maybe because you have to stop recording?
Remaining 1 minute 43
Oh,
seconds.
we have 1 minute to say goodbye, everybody.
And it says upgrade to pro. Sorry.
All right. Well, I hate long goodbyes anyway.
I hate long goodbyes. I hope you all have a very great Christmas.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
and
too.
Oh yes,
been a
you
good
guys
semester.
too. Yeah.
Safe travels if you're traveling, Eve. Be
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
And
Be
you
safe.
have my email. If you ever want anything or need anything, reach out.
Yasmin added me on Facebook. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, I found you.
Oh,
I have to look for the other two guys. I'm not a social
Yeah.
media person, so I don't have that problem. That's why that wasn't one of my
I'm
goals. I
always-
go on the thing and I for a few minutes and that's it. And I'm like,
I have a problem.
it's too much. And then I shut off the phone and that's it. So I'm not
Yeah.
able to.
Well,
So I'm
find me
gonna
on
look for you guys.
Facebook.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, guys.
All right,
All
guys.
right. Take
Much
care, guys.
love. It
you.
was nice getting to know
I'll find you
you.
guys
Yeah,
on
you guys
Facebook.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay, I have to figure out how
Bye.
to do this now afterwards. Okay. Yeah.
You got this.
Got it.
Yeah. Take care.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Good luck.
Where's okay? There we go. Stop video.
Bye.